Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to present to you my talk on the current developments in Golm as part of my lecture series Transformation of Culture Heritage Over Time, with a special focus on Golm, a locality of Potsdam. This presentation builds upon a theme I previously introduced in Barcelona last year, depending the exploration of the intersections between history, identity, and sustainable development. Gorn, located west of Potsdam, offers a compelling example of how historical identity can be obtained while adapting to the dynamic challenges of urban and social transformation. This presentation highlights Gorn's evolution through the architectural heritage, ongoing restoration projects, urban development, and the integration of sustainable infrastructure. In my previous lecture, Culture Heritage Transformation Over Time, I provided an overview of Gorm's historical development and the significance of its cultural heritage. Central themes included the conservation of listed buildings, sustainable usage concepts, and current challenge in the heritage management. Gorm's roots trace back to the 7th century. Since its first documented mention in year 1289, the village evolved steadily, initially agricultural, later also as a residential and excursion destination with a bourgeois character. Its proximity to Potsdam and Berlin facilitated Gorn's transformation from a pastoral village into a modern knowledge hub. One example of cultural heritage conservation and restoration is the historic villa ensemble on Ehrenpfortenberg, which began in year 2005. Historical ornamentation was reconstructed. The decorative elements features vine plants, roses, and stylized flower and hope plants, symbolizing the residents' connection to nature and agriculture. These motifs serve as reminders of Gorm's agricultural roots, especially in viticulture and hope growing. These floral and symbolic ornaments are more than decorative. They reflect Gorm's culture and historical identity and bridge the past with the present. Wooden beams, windows, and doors were also restored. In light of the energy transition, a new challenge was taken on: the sustainable modernization of historic buildings, a balancing act between technical innovation and historical conservation. Current efforts include evaluating various heating systems such as photovoltaic installation, heat pumps, and both historic and modern stoves. This talk, Transformation of Cultural Heritage Over Time, Current Developments, continued the discussion from the previous lecture, expanding on the themes of monument preservation, social change, and urban planning. The focus now is to another heritage monument, the Old Village Church of Gorm. Besides historical and conservation aspects, the urban planning context of the new center of Gorm and the expansion of sustainable infrastructure, particularly cycling paths, will be discussed. The goal is to show how tradition and innovation together can support the protection of cultural heritage. The old church, die Alte Kirche, is a central part of Gorm's cultural heritage. Archaeological studies have identified 4 construction phases since the 13th century. Today, the church combines plastered fieldstone and brick masonry, a hipped roof, and a timber-framed tower. It is surrounded by the historic village cemetery. An appraisal conducted in year 2019 revealed serious damage. Moisture, fungal infestation, and structural issues threaten the building. Between the year 2020 and the year 2022, expert reports were prepared, funding applications submitted, and initial conservation work commenced. Thanks to civic engagement, including initiatives like the roof tile donation and public funding, the first restoration measures were implemented. Comprehensive restoration has been underway since the year 2024. Measures include roof repairs, restoration of load-bearing wooden elements, sustainable dehumidification, redesign of access paths. Current carpentry work on the roof, structure and tower is completed. Windows and doors have been commissioned. The vision is a multifunctional space for culture and social events, readings, concerts, and community gatherings. However, funding is still needed to complete its transformation. Gom is expanding. The university, the science park, and new residential developments have led to the formation of distinctly separated areas. These so-called Gom Islands consist of the historic village center, the research and university campus, newly developed housing areas, as well as the older urban areas. A new urban master plan aims to connect these zones by creating a lively central public space, the new center of Gom, die neue Mitte. A participatory process ensured public support. Citizens, students, scientists, businesswomen and businessmen came together in forums, workshops, and service to shape Gom's future. Near to the station area, the plan includes public squares, a cafe and small shops, sports and recreation facilities. The new center, die neue Mitte, is envisioned to be inclusive, intergenerational, and sustainable. In Gom, sustainability is understood encompass energy, efficiency building, biodiversity within residential areas, promotion of active mobility, social diversity, and inclusiveness. The space is designed to remain flexible and to meet the needs of the local residents, university students and staff, researchers, commuters and visitors alike. Another example of connecting past and future is the Barak Linden Alley. The Barak Avenue, located west of the New Palace in Potsdam, was originally laid out in the 18th century and underwent significant redesign in the 19th century, became a linden-lined boulevard. Today this avenue is recognized as part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Palaces and Parks of Potsdam and Berlin, reflecting its culture and historical significance. In year 2014, a portion of the avenue was repurposed as a bicycle path, representing a tangible example of integration historical infrastructure with contemporary needs for sustainable mobility. This adaptation not only preserved the historical context of the avenue, but also aligned with current urban planning principles that emphasize environmentally friendly transport solutions. Developments in year 2024, including adjacent road work, led to an extension of the cycling infrastructure, thereby strengthening the connection between Potsdam and the locality of Golm. This ongoing transformation illustrates how heritage landscape can be thoughtfully integrated into modern transportation networks, serving both conservation and functional objectives. Conclusion: the old church is part of a broader educational landscape that brings history to life. Surrounded by the Golm Island, its historic and modern neighborhoods, the university and the science park. The transformation of cultural heritage in Golm unites present and future. Monument conservation, sustainable urban development, civic participation intertwine. Golm is an example for a future-looking approach to cultural heritage, not as a burden, but as an opportunity for innovation, cohesion, and quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, let us remember, cultural heritage is not a relic of the past, but a bridge to the future. Thank you for your attention.